Hello, my name is Michael Kelley, and this is my interpersonal communication video for HSCO 508. As a simple way for you to know to change slides, I'll say the word slide. Slide. So, introduction to me, my name is Michael Kelley, born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I currently live in Lynchburg, Virginia, and I've done so for the past 2 years. I first came to Lynchburg to work here at Liberty University, where I'm currently the graduate assistant strength and conditioning coach, where I work with track and field, men's soccer, and the baseball teams here on campus. When I first arrived at Liberty, I was not in the Human Services Counseling degree program. I was actually in the Executive Leadership degree program. And over the course of a couple weeks and some life-changing events, I felt that the Human Services Counseling degree program would help me move on to bigger and better things according to my life purpose. Slide. So, what is interpersonal communication? Excuse me. According to Stewart, communication is the continuous, complex, collaborative process of verbal and nonverbal meaning making. So, communication is simply getting your point across, and it's what we do even when we don't realize it. And like I said, there's two different parts. There's verbal and nonverbal, which I will talk about in the next slide. Interpersonal communication. According to Stewart, interpersonal communication is the type or kind of communication that happens when the people involved talk and listen in ways that maximize the presence of the personal. The key word here for interpersonal communication is personal. Make the conversation personal, make it more intimate, get to know the person. It's not your generic conversation, it's going to be specific to that person. Slide. So, like I said in the last slide, there's two different types of communication. There's verbal and nonverbal. Verbal communication is communication being expressed with words. At times, it can and should be verbal. Verbal communication is what I'm doing right now. It's what we do in lecture classes. It's what we're doing whenever we are verbally trying to get a point across. Nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication is communication without the expression of words, but rather body language, facial expressions, and gestures. At times, I feel like nonverbal communication can be even more powerful than verbal. Mainly because we don't know we're doing it. We don't know, we don't realize we don't do it on purpose. And I first realized this whenever athletes approached me a couple months ago saying that they were afraid to approach me and talk to me because of the expressions on my face, and they thought that I was in a bad mood, and they thought I was going to be angry with them. In return, I started challenging my athletes that I work with to be very aware of their nonverbal communication skills, because they never know who they're going to come across, whether it be an opponent or maybe a boss down the road that they're going to have one day. And I tell them each and every day that every day is a job interview. Slide. So my why in life, my overarching goal, the reason why I get out of bed every morning and do what I do. I want to spend my life building positive relationships with great people, and through those relationships, I will change the world. When evaluating my time spent here on earth, I want to know that I left this world having made a difference through impacting as many people as possible. My hope is that my efforts will carry over and cause others to have the same purpose. When I'm 80, 85, 90 years old, I'm not going to look back at my life and wish that I had made more money or bought a house or bought a car. I'm going to wish that I made more of an impact. And I'm going to think about what my legacy is here on this earth and how I measure my success of my purpose. How do I know that I'm moving in the right direction? And the way I do it is evaluating these three things. Is handwritten letters. I've gotten a couple handwritten letters from athletes just thanking me for going above and beyond for them, showing them that I care. And the handwritten letters are something I'm going to keep for the rest of my life. Nobody writes handwritten letters anymore, and when people do, it's special. Wedding invitations. I'm 26 years old. I've yet to get a wedding invitation. My hope is by the time I'm in my 40s, I've gotten wedding invitations from former athletes. And last but not least is meaningful conversations. And the power of a meaningful conversation for an athlete just to come in, that he trusts me on the level to come in and just talk about what he might be going through, what is going on with his family, what's going on back at home, and all he wants is just a shoulder. He wants somebody to be there and just help him through that tough time. Slide. Enlarging the conversation. Enlarging the conversation can be summed up in just keeping the conversation going. And some people have different skills and abilities to do this. My go-to to keep a conversation going is just to start asking questions. And one of the first questions I might ask somebody is where they're from, and from there I can go anywhere. Talk about what their family does, what their brother or sister, where they might go to school. Um, Leading into what they're saying, people want to know that we care about them. And there's a saying that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And the more that we can focus on this quote, the better off we're going to be. People want to be heard, and they want to know that what they're saying and what they're expressing to us is being internalized and being filtered through our brain, and we're giving good advice. And an easy way to show somebody that we're listening and that we're hearing what they're saying is to paraphrase and repeat back to them what they're saying. So example would be, what I'm hearing is this. What you're telling me is this. And one of the most important traits, one of the most important things whenever you want to keep a conversation going, you want to keep open dialogue between two people, is trust. And trust might take a little bit of time to be built, but the time it takes to build that trust is well worth it. And with that trust, we have to show empathy. And according to Burley Allen, empathy is refraining from judging the talker and placing oneself in the other's position, attempting to see things from his or her point of view. It is a true meaning of putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. Slide. Background. I'm 26 years old. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My immediate family currently lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. I grew up in a single parent household where I saw a lot of good, some bad, and a little bit of ugly. And during this time, I saw my mom work 2, sometimes 3 jobs just to make ends meet. And she never complained once. And one of the things that I learned through this experience is to work really hard for what you want. And it's important to understand that hard work doesn't guarantee us anything, but it sets us up for the best opportunity possible. And that's something I really want to teach the athletes that I work with each and every day. In the past 3 years, I've lived in 5 different places, and sometimes it's difficult. And it's hard to build those lasting relationships with people whenever you're moving and starting over every less than a year or so. I graduated from Slippery Rock University with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Exercise Science. Slide. I'll talk about my DISC profile. So DISC is an acronym for D for dominating personality type, I, inspiring personality type, S for steady or steadiness personality type, and C for cautious personality type. With this profile, you get 2 different traits. You get 2 different personality types. So the first one is what other people see of me, and then the second one is what you really are. So, what other people expect of me is the I or inspiring personality type, which also includes inspiring, influencing, and interacting. And I don't disagree with this. For my current job as a strength and conditioning coach, I need to inspire. I need to be interactive people. I need to influence others to go above and beyond. What really is me is the IDC blend. So inspiring, dominating, and cautious. Slide. Going further. So expected of me, the I personality type, what other people see, is an inspirational influencer. Interested in people, like to positively affect other people. And as I already expressed, as a strength and conditioning coach, this is paramount to my success as a coach. I need to influence people, and I need to empower them each and every day to be better. What really is me, though, is the inspiring, dominant, and cautious personality mixture. So very expressive and outgoing. I'm goal-oriented with specific steps to fulfill my purpose. So I'm a very outgoing person, and I wear my emotions on my sleeve. If I'm going through something, if I'm having a bad day, you're probably going to be able to tell without me even telling you anything. Goal oriented with specific steps to fulfill the purpose. So I am more interested in the process than I am the outcome, because I know through the process is where all the learning is going to take place. Slide. Some barriers for me. So some barriers for me came about whenever athletes came to me and they expressed that they felt they couldn't talk to me because they felt like I was not listening to them, and I would jump to conclusions. I need to work on being more sensitive to their feelings and not being judgmental. And I need to be more optimistic, and at times, if I'm having a bad day, I'll carry that with me around, and the wrong person might catch the brunt of that. And I need to be more aware of that, and to be have positive energy and carry that with me and feed into others. Slide. So some solutions to this. So I need to get out of my own head, and I need to realize that I am my own worst enemy, and I need to show empathy towards others and show them that I'm putting myself in their shoes, and um, ultimately I need to look for a solution to every decision. I need to look for a solution for every problem. I need to look for a solution no matter what. And I always tell myself that if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. I need to have an unbiased opinion. And what that means is I need to go into any discussion, any confrontation with a clear mind and not have my thought process already made up. And I need to be positive and need to look for the good in everything, does everybody else. Slide. So, in conclusion, summary of my presentation: build great relationships with great people for me is a secret to life, and that's going to be my purpose, no matter what I do in this lifetime. I can never forget my why, my purpose, and why I became a coach in the first place. Is I want to impact young people, and I want to teach them and prepare them for life after athletics. I need to improve my ability to empathize, and I also need to stay the course, as I can't get caught up in my own ways, and I need to remember that it's not about me, it's about other people. Slide. Thank you for watching my presentation.